Hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to session number 2 of the Thrive and Stress workshop series. I'm really excited to be here. Today we're going to talk all about you knowing what the stressors in your life are. So in the first session, we spoke about the stress profile. You knowing who you are under stress, how you feel, how you behave, what your tendencies are, how you feel in your body, how your mindset shifts under stress, so that you can identify those reactions in your day-to-day life and pick them up so you can change them. But now we want to dig deeper and say, so what is making me feel and act and behave this way? What is making me grab onto the cigarette? What is making me feel this anger? What is making me feel the fatigue, right? What is the stressor? So let's get right into it. So what is a stressor? A stressor is anything outside of you. So this is a very key point to start with. It's outside of you, it's not inside. Stress is not something that comes from within. Although we're so used to say the statement, I am stressed, in a way it's a false statement. Okay, you are not stressed. You just are. You are. I am Jana. I am enough. I am who I am. Okay, I am not stressed. I feel stressed. My job is making me feel stressed. My job is causing me fatigue and lack of energy because of the stress that it brings with itself. Okay, so it's not that I am stressed from within me and stress comes from inside. Stress comes from an outside stressor, and my reaction to that stressor is feeling stressed. So just a small shift in language can really help you see things with a new perspective. So moving forward, rather than saying I'm stressed, I'm all the time stressed, I wake up feeling stressed, which is just common language nowadays, stopping and saying, this is making me feel stressed right now and I can do something about it. Okay? All right. So what are stressors? Stressors is anything in the outside environment that is bringing pressure onto your life. It's a pressure. Okay, and when a stressor is always present, so for the past year, every day I have to deal with this stressor and the stressor and the stressor, and I'm not strengthening myself to deal with it in a proper way, then the stressor starts to overtake my life, right? The stressor starts to making me feel like my whole life is not going well. Right? You might have, I'm taking example career because it's the most common thing. You know, if the career is not going well, you start to feel like I hate my life. I don't want to see anyone. I'm not eating healthy. I don't have time for exercise. You start to feel like your whole life is collapsing because of this one stressor. So when the stressor starts to become more powerful than you, it really overtakes your life. So by identifying that, this is the stressor, you can start to empower yourself to say, I have a stressor and I know how to deal with it. So let's get into that. All right. So you're going to turn to your workbook, which I hope you have because it's a beautiful workbook in my opinion. These are workbooks that I really work very closely with one-on-one with my clients, but I wanted to share them because I really feel they could benefit people, and there's no need to have them, not available for everyone. So on the second page, the first exercise is the wheel of stress impact. So before moving into identifying the stressors, this simple exercise helps you go a bit deeper into the real impact of stress on your life right now. And 12 areas have been identified here. Okay, 12 key areas that usually people experience very strongly under stress. So how is stress really impacting your life right now? Like the common impact that it's having on your life. So just quickly on how to do this wheels exercises is that you will, in each quadrant, you call it, or like each segment in the circle. Hello, kitty. All right, so this is Susu. Excuse us. Okay. All right. So this is the stress, this is the circle. With each quadrant, you want to place a bullet point inside the quadrant. Now, the less satisfied you are with this area, the more the bullet point is going to be close to the center. The more satisfied you're in this area, the bullet point is going to be closer to the tip of the circle or to the outside of the circle. Okay, so for example, sleep. If right now I don't sleep well at all and I know this is an impact of stress, then the bullet point is going to be very close to the center. If I'm happy and I sleep well, then the bullet point is going to be to the outside of the circle. Just let me know if it's not clear for you. So you take a moment to really evaluate each of these areas. And once you do that, placing a dot in each of these areas where it belongs. And once you do that, turning to page number 3. So you can pause the video and do that for a moment. And once you're done, taking a look at those impacts and choosing what are the top impacts that stress is causing you right now. Okay, so if it's sleep, digestion, low productivity, then identifying those and going through the reflection questions. And the key thing here is when you identify the impact, so before we deal with the stressor, you're dealing here with the symptom, right? So we're not there with the stressor yet. Now we're dealing with the symptom. I don't sleep well. Okay. So before you say, I want to change my career, as an example, you say, okay, I need to deal with the sleeping issue. Okay. So if it's sleep, my recommendation is in whatever area you choose is to take one small action. So why is it not working well? And what is one thing you can do differently today that will help you sleep better? So this is very important because along the past years, I really learned this continuous self-reflection, stopping and saying, I'm not sleeping well. I need to do something about it. What can I do about it? You going through that conversation with yourself can really bring in a lot into your life, okay? So identifying one action you can take to reduce or to make better this one area that has the highest impact on your life right now. So if it's sleep, turning off the lights and turning off technology, after 9 p.m. Something like that, something very simple that you can do, but make it smart, right? Make it actionable. When will you do it and how will you do it? It's a nice, simple exercise. And then moving to the life stressors. So the life stressors exercise, and that's on page 4. Similarly, I want you can pause the video and again, take a moment to look at these 12 areas. There's 12 key identified areas that could be causing people stress. Could be an external stressor, an external pressure that is impacting their life. Some things in here, like spiritual health, for example, might not be a direct stressor, but the fact that I'm not taking care of my spiritual health is causing me stress. That could be a case as well. The fact that I'm not taking care of my creativity is causing me stress. So again, placing a bullet point in each quadrant at the center, close to the center or close to the outside. Close to the outside means this area is going well. Close to the center means I need to take care of this area better. Now, I'm going to go very quickly through some of these areas just so you're aware of what these stressors are. Home environment. Why is home environment important? It's a very underestimated stressor. Home environment is obviously the home you live in, but is your home now giving you a safe space? Is it giving you privacy? Is it allowing you to express yourself? Is it allowing you to do your self-care? Is it always noisy? Do you not like the area you live in? Does it give you opportunity to be outside when you want to? Do you have access to sunshine, to sunlight? Is it decorated in a way you want to have it decorated? So home environment is everything that's happening in your home where we spend a lot of time and how it impacts how you feel. It's also, maybe are you living with too many people? Do you feel like there's toxic people you're living in? So how is the environment at home and is it supporting you? Physical health is obviously, anything to do with the body, right? Am I fatigued all the time? Do I have low energy? Do I feel sick a lot? Do I have a lot of bloating, headaches? So how is your physical health doing? And that could be a stressor on its own, right? So if you have a certain illness, God forbid, or if you have, a chronic issue with physically that you need to deal with and you're not able to deal with, then that could be a stressor on its own. Mental health, right? Although that could also be a result of stress, but it could also be a stressor on its own. As in, I wake up feeling sad every day, or I had a traumatic experience a few years ago that I didn't really deal with. And it keeps coming up for me, and I feel like I'm not worthy. And so mental health. Is there something in your life that you didn't address that you feel is now really keeps creeping into your life, and it's always in the back of your head, kind of bringing you down and causing you mental strain? And if that's the case, then that could definitely be a stressor as well. Spiritual health, as I said, spiritual health could be something that helps you a lot in releasing stress. But if you're also not taking care of your spiritual health, if you're completely neglecting your spiritual health, whatever that means to you, whether it means religious practices, or it means meditation and yoga, or it means connecting to something higher and knowing a higher purpose, or feeling like you're connecting to something bigger. If you're missing that completely and you think that's important for you, then that could be a stressor. I know personally for a long time in my life, I didn't have any spiritual practice back in the days, and I always felt like something was missing. And when I found spiritual practices, for me it was yoga and meditation, my life definitely changed. So the lack of something could also be a stressor. Your mindset, do I wake up every day with the same programming? Do I wake up every day with the same thoughts, negative patterns? How is your mindset impacting you? Is it a stressor right now for you? Life meaning and purpose, very important. Many people feel like, this is it, this is life, I don't know what's next for me. So I don't know why I'm here. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know what my passion is. I have no purpose. I'm just doing this because I need the money. So do you feel like that's something that is stressing you out? Family, obvious one. Family could be a stressor, especially if you're someone who's taking care of a family. Maybe taking care of a family member. It could be someone, whether it's parents or your kids. Even if you're single, you could be, financially caring for a family member, or, you're giving self-care to a family member, or emotionally caring for a family member. So is your family causing you stress? Creativity. And why is that there? Because so many people are natural creative people, as in they like art and dance and spontaneous living, and suddenly they find themselves living in a system. And they feel like, oh God, I can't express myself. I'm losing my art. I'm no longer playing music. I'm not being fun anymore. I'm not traveling anymore. So you feel like the lack of you being able to express your creativity is starting to cause you stress. And I've also experienced a lot of that, where I always felt like, oh, this doesn't feel like it's me. I want to be out, right? And the lack of creativity can sometimes be a stressor. Social life. Whether the lack of social life could be a stressor, and sometimes the wrong social life could be a stressor, right? Finances, again, is it a burden? Is it something you always need to worry about? Are you in debt? So many people have a lot of debts, and find it very hard to express it and to ask for support. And if it is the case, that could be a major stressor. Career, obvious one. Whether it is, is your career, maybe you love your career, but you're in a toxic environment. Maybe you don't love what you're doing. Just being honest here and really evaluating, is your career a stressor? And last, but definitely not least, maybe one of the most important is relationships. Especially if you are in a relationship with someone. Okay, cats are going wild. So if you are in a relationship with someone, that relationship could be causing you stress if you're in a toxic relationship. Or maybe you're not in a toxic relationship, but if you're in a marriage, or if you're with someone for so many years, at some point there will always be ups and downs, and it could get difficult. So are you addressing the health of your relationship, and is it a day-to-day burden? If you're single, is wanting to be in a relationship a pressure? Is it a stressor? Are you always thinking about it? Is it bringing you down? I hope it's clear. So I think it's quite straightforward. So take a moment, pause the video, and go through this. And once you're done, you're going to move to the reflection. And again, looking at this circle now and noticing, first of all, really looking into it and just breathing, and noticing, oh, these are the key stressors. You automatically see that, you can connect the dots, and you can automatically see which areas are zoomed into the middle, which means they are your key stressors. And without judgment, picking up those top 3 ones, taking them on the side so you can evaluate them deeply. And, there's only enough that we can do together here through the sessions, but my recommendation for now is to just pick 1 out of those 3. So start with 3 and then say, these are 3 important ones, but what is the most one that is urgent for me to deal with? And what is urgent? Urgent is I can do something about it, right? I know I can do something about it. And 2, that I know if I do something about it, it's going to have a positive impact on my life. So these 2 are really important. And then pick 1 area. And from here, I want you to take 1 action. And I'm going to give an example. This action doesn't need to mean I'm going to shift my career around and tomorrow it's going to be perfect. The action could be as simple as I have no idea what I need to do, so I'm going to get support. And that is an action. Or it can be, I'm going to give an example, if it's social life, and I'm in a toxic friendship. For once and for all, I'm going to sit my friend and talk to them. Next week, I'm going to invite them out and talk to them about this situation. So it can be a small action that you can take. Or if it feels like this area is really big, difficult, then getting support could be an action. But knowing that this is where I need to work. Because many people get support and say, I have no idea. I'm just stressed all the time. But saying, I'm stressed in my relationship. It's because the stress is coming from the relationship. Or it is the top priority for me. So identifying what's 1 action you could take. And if you do take this action, how is it going to make you feel better? How is it going to support your life by addressing this area? I do this almost monthly. I look at this circle and I say, okay, I have been neglecting my home environment. Recently, we moved houses just because of that, because I felt in my previous home was really bringing us down energetically. I didn't love the area. I didn't love the space we were in. So the action for us was kind of to take, the action was to move houses. I sat with my husband. I'm like, I don't mind if we break the contract, but I really feel like we need a new environment. And this was the action. So what's very important is take 1 step forward. 1 step forward, and everything will feel slightly lighter. And by the way, just by you bringing awareness into this top key stressor, automatically something starts to shift. Trust me, awareness is key. And one last thing I want to mention here about those stressors is that sometimes it feels like, but I hate my job and I'm in debt and my family is, and I don't have, there's so many things. You can't fix it all at once. Start with 1, and trust me, if you start with the most important one for you, automatically things start to feel better on a bigger picture. So when I start to focus on changing my career, because that was my stressor as an example, automatically I felt like, oh, I'm healthier. Oh, I'm inviting the right people into my life now. Oh, I'm suddenly more creative. And I'm suddenly, my mindset shifted. So by working in 1 area, you're kind of, without realizing, tapping into different areas. So 1 step at a time. All right, you guys, this is about it for the stressors for today. Knowing your stressors, identifying those stressors, and taking them 1 step further into 1 action you could take into the top key stressor in your life. And moving forward, stop saying I am stressed and start saying I feel stressed because of this pressure in my life, and this is what I'm gonna do about it. There is a bonus exercise, which is my resilience plan, which I invite you to do. It's quite well explained. So do go through it and let me know if you have any questions on building your own resilience plan so you can face your stressors. And in the next session, we will start digging deeper into how you can strengthen your body and your mind in the face of stressors. Lots of love to you and see you again soon.